Fast forward, any come out channel so AGH politics avenue. On your podcast also training because we headlines. And a jambro na be exomo ewa and idiom yahoo black simus and idi kanya. You best share with my subscribe to the channel. But what else with my notification bell so share na out of 4 council insight into inconvenience any black simu yambo and your political highways in him. Na ayara your comment under the comment section ho edi amame. Unia ninga say Wontumi a quantum mining case no. And the third accused person obu buying a year Shanigan has a year no one gasaden humpo equadine a police force there be my name abano. Oko PMO court na wadane di pifi say empany ampa baby okay humanity concession hono Wontumi ena edema no a onua we induct Wontumi o court enye aksem koto akra na ni nyina akire no ye discharge no ye monwra insiminum na ye hwe ne ye ko ene de ba age politics are very.
Thank you so much, Michael. Let's now head to the court where the state's second witness has been discharged by the Accra High Court after completing his testimony against the former NPP Ashanti Regional Chairman Bernard Enchuboisiaku, aka Chairman Wontumi. Chairman Wontumi, that's Kwame Entry, a director at Akonta Mining, currently at large, and Akonta Mining have been charged with 3 counts each of assignment of mineral rights without approval and purposely facilitating an unlicensed mining operation at Sameboy in the Western region.
The second prosecution witness, Henry Okum, among other things, told the court during cross-examination by lawyers for Wontumi that the NPP Ashanti Regional Chair handed over his concession at Sameboy for him to mine on. Okum, a small-scale miner with 7 years of experience, also indicated that he obtained the license in 2017. When pushed, however, to produce same, he explained that there was a video showing the launch of the company by a minister. He later contradicted himself by admitting that he did not in fact have a mining license, but insisted that the presence of government officials at the site demonstrated official approval. Under further questioning by lead counsel for Wontumi Apiakubi, the witness acknowledged that small-scale mining licenses are restricted to specific locations, but was unable to clearly state the exact area his license permitted him to operate. He testified that before moving to Sameboy, he conducted a search at the Minerals Commission and was informed that the concession belongs to Akonta Mining. This, he said, led him to approach Chairman Wontumi to seek permission to work on the land. Okum admitted he was neither a director nor a board member of Akonta Mining, but insisted that Chairman Wontumi owned the company. He further told the court that a letter was sent to the Regional Secretary Council, RECSEC, on Akonta Mining's letterhead signed by Chairman Wontumi to facilitate operations on the site. Although the witness claimed to have a copy of the letter, he failed to produce it in court but assured the court he could make it available if given the opportunity. Lawyers for Wontumi prayed for the document to be produced before the close of his case, a request the court granted. On the condition of the land, Okum admitted that the Sameboy concession was not a virgin land, describing it as an area riddled with abandoned pits from previous illegal mining activities. He said Chairman Wontumi had informed him of existing illegalities on the land and advised that abandoned pits be covered before mining could commence. The witness, however, rejected the suggestion that Chairman Wontumi's complaint to RECSEC was solely about illegal mining, stating that the situation also created an opportunity for him to work on the land after the removal of illegal miners. Okum maintained that Akonta Mining itself did not carry out mining operations at the site after the security operation, insisting that Chairman Wontumi handed over the concession to him to work on. The case has since been adjourned to Wednesday, January 21, for prosecution's third witness to be cross-examined. Lord Idasai, TV3 News, Accra.
We have sports news coming up shortly. Do stay with us.
Oh, Cecilia, where do you qua? We be train second one. I had to say, say, we Mujawa. Unim second, there's more car there, a bedding, a bed binding.
There is even more danger when you get to Accra, where traders are almost taking over the rail lines. But even as the campaign goes for deliberate investment into the sector, this particular train is aged and wobbles frequently. Even at the first class session, the ceiling fans there are rusty.
When you are coming on, you can see that there are people who have encroached, and you see these night workers, weak smokers.
So this is my third experience, and so far I can say their timing is always perfect. Like when it's our place, it's at Addo, and they arrived there at 6:40, and before we got there, the train was already there exactly 6:38.
In the last 3 weeks, we decided to pick the normal car to Accra, and then we stood by the roadside for almost an hour, running around looking for just the right car to pick and all that. So yes, I would encourage the government to invest more in the railway system.
The train line here is full of waste, but much more could be done to make the sector more attractive. Christian Yale, TV3 News.
Right, we're staying on the subject matter, and the Transport Ministry says it has reached an agreement with transport operators on a work plan aimed at addressing the current transportation crisis.
From mid-December to date, we have experienced a lot of long queues, and we have gone through a lot of pain. It has been a worry to government and, for that matter, the ministry and all the unions. And we started engaging. The unions themselves and us sat down, asked ourselves, what is the problem in our transport industry? What is causing the unavailability of vehicles? And we have identified a lot of operational areas that we need to tackle. And so we have identified all the sectorial areas and a work plan to follow. The good is that the unions themselves are prepared to lead in the discipline of their colleagues to ensure that there are no more any floating drivers or vehicles on our roads, to make sure that they bring all of them to the terminals to load our people, and if there is need to create any system somewhere that buses will move in to help move people from one point to another, the unions are prepared to do. And so they've agreed that from hence they are going to reintroduce what they call the identification tax or stickers on all vehicles. So if you see any vehicle, you will know that this vehicle belongs to this union, and it is not at the terminal, and it is doing the floating activities and charging unapproved fares. They've also agreed that they will put themselves in the same task force to ensure that drivers comply with the agreed fares that we, the Ministry of Transport, and the unions agreed to in May last year. They have assured us that there are some Tata buses that they are going to make available to ensure that they will also come in to help move our commuters from work to home or from home to work. And I must say that we are going to direct to each sector all the recommendations we have made and ensure that all of us will implement all these measures. Again, there's another concern that the drivers say that the traders have taken over their stations and the roadsides. So the turnaround time of vehicles is now limited. If a vehicle would have made 4 trips a day, they are forced to do 2 trips.
Let's now go to the Western region, where multiple makeshift houses along the Takoradi Cape Coast Highway have been demolished as government pushes forward with its big push agenda. In spite of an 8-week notice, many were caught scrambling to salvage their structures. What is next for these residents? Irama Smith has more.
The demolition exercise began from the PTC interchange in Takoradi towards Shama on Monday morning. The exercise is to make way for the implementation of the 73.6-kilometer Takoradi Cape Coast Highway redevelopment project. 3 dedicated units representing the 2nd Takoradi Metropolitan Assembly, the Ǎccǔsě Municipal Assembly and the Shama Municipal Assembly are systematically clearing every temporary structure along the shoulders of the highway.
They consider that they can take everything for granted. You must be developed.
In what may be described as a little too late, some occupants of these temporary structures could be seen scrambling to protect their properties.
Oh, say ending. Ending, say January ending. Say February ending. And now
the municipal engineer for Ǎccǔsě, Ismail Eduse, who is supervising the exercise from the PTC interchange to the Nat Hall at Vijay, explained that the contractors are no longer entertaining any further delays in the evacuation.
Yes, for now there has not been any resistance since the start. But if you started, consider you because already you have your carpenters and then the metal people on it that they are removing. So when we get there, we will not actually demolish it.
Fortunately for those affected at Ahinkofi, a suburb of Sekondi, the traditional leader Nana Kwamena Ahinkofi IV has offered a free place for them to stay.
Ansana warba hanampo wakachira. Nti se siara anwochire waba no. Nso waba mo de se menya baby for from zan hona. Nti ma sha ase de baby a spaces in kakra wo ho no. Mo chiche mezano.
We are staying on transport-related issues and relief for residents and motorists who use the Somanyakpong Highway as rehabilitation work resumes. Road users, however, are urging authorities to expedite construction work to prevent a repeat of the prolonged delays experienced previously.
Stretch protested for the rehabilitation of the Somanyakpong Road as an 11.3 kilometer stretch.
This marks the second time work has commenced on the Somanyakpong Highway for rehabilitation works. Construction work delayed during last 2 years, sparking public outrage leading to protests. In October, some youth protested the deplorable state of the Somanyakpong Road affected local businesses, the agricultural value chain, and economic livelihoods. Contractors have now returned to the site to rehabilitate the stretch. In the meantime, motorists are required to use detour routes, while other road users endure dusty conditions along portions of the road. Some shops remain closed. Road users hope the project does not suffer further delays again.
Level of dust in the area as a result of the reconstruction of the road is too much. We plead on the authorities to do regular watering, and then the contractors.
Sometimes keep I'm not going to travel time
has increased because of the diversion of the road. We plead that the contractor and the authorities should fasten the project for us.
Traffic order. Because people no break here. Na anga yiti egu.
Things are not bought when you open our shop, so we pray that the project should be done in a haste.
I've no number. A fastness.
Covering us up the market itself, drivers have increased their charges because they pass through the longer route to the market. It's up to get vehicles. The municipal chief executive for the Lower Akroma municipality, John Ate Mate, assured residents that contractors will intermittently water the road to reduce dust while work progress to meet expected timelines.
Roadside who are having businesses by the roadside, a lot of dust every day. I always speak to them that at least every day, if we can give them like twice of the watering, it will be the best. I am hopeful that they will heed to that advice and will reduce the inconvenience that our people are facing, so that by the end of the construction, we shouldn't see a lot of casualties. People falling sick because of respiratory problems and all that. I know that by the end of the year, I'm sure that this road will completely be done.
United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 9 calls on government to develop reliable, sustainable, and resilient infrastructures, such as road, to support economic development and improve human well-being.
In more news tonight, Ghana's ambassador to the United States, Victor Emmanuel Smith, says he has been told by the former minister's cousin, that's Gabi Asari Otredako, that Ken Ofori-Atta is unwilling to return to the country to answer corruption charges against him, fearing how he may be treated. The former finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, who was detained by the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, is expected to appear before a judge tomorrow, Tuesday, January 20. Let's listen to Ambassador Victor Smith when he spoke on the key points.
I had a call from Gabi Otridako, he expressed that worry. And I assured him that he will have to go through the due process. I mean, everybody goes through a due process of law. So they're not going to be like, people are not going to attack him. We don't behave like that. He and that Ken himself, by his own doings, being evasive with the OSP arrest, have created this brouhaha around his case. So that is the point. So don't let nobody get me wrong. It was not my own view. It was a view expressed by Gabi Otridako, who is a relative of his. He made a call to me, and I said, I wanted to have an opportunity to assure him that he would have to go through the due process like anybody else goes through the due process. So that anxiety, fear, everything.
Meanwhile, pressure group Arise Ghana has announced plans to picket continuously at the U.S. Embassy in Accra from tomorrow, January 20. The group is demanding the extradition of the former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta to face some 78 corruption-related charges in Ghana. Let's now get onto the phone lines and engage one of the conveners. Selom Dramado is a leading member of Arise Ghana. Selom, thank you so much for your time. First of all, what key message do you want to send across with tomorrow's picketing?
Okay, the message we are sending across to Ghanaians and Ghanaians all over the world is that tomorrow we're converging at the American Embassy to send a strong message to the United States government that the gentleman in their country, who is sojourning in their country, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, the former finance minister of this country, is of high interest here in Ghana. Therefore, they must repatriate, deport, or extradite him to Ghana, or send him back to Ghana to face accountability and justice. Because that is what majority of Ghanaians are demanding. That a gentleman who steered the affairs of, who steered our economic well-being, who managed this country, who grossly mismanaged, I take that again, grossly mismanaged this country, must face accountability, must account to the good people of Ghana. Because throughout the 8 years of his cousin's tenure as the president of this republic, he never deemed it fit to account to us. Now is the day, this is the day of reckoning for Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta to be brought to Ghana to account to the good people of Ghana.
All right, Salam, do you have clearance to picket at the U.S. Embassy tomorrow? What's the arrangement with the Ghana Police Service?
You're asking whether we have clearance to
picket at the U.S. Embassy, yes.
Okay, as far as the Public Order Act is concerned, which actually regulates outdoor events, we have complied sufficiently with the Public Order Act. We sufficiently notified the police. The police, as per the Public Order Act, also invited us for meeting to discuss the modalities for tomorrow's picket.
Salam, thank you so much for your time. And Salam Dramado is a leading member of Arise Ghana.
Let's turn our attention to education-related matters now. And the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, CETAG, on Monday, the 24th of November 2025, declared a strike effective over what it says was government's failure to implement the National Labour Commission's arbitral award. About 2 months on, the strike still persists, and CETAG is demanding an agreement be honored and obligations under the National Labour Commission's arbitral award, which was given them in May 2023, the 2nd of May, that is. Let's walk you through some of the key details of why they are on strike and what should be expected going forward. As we speak, the strike is on day 56. Tomorrow will be day 57 because they began the strike on the 24th of November 2025. Again, all the colleges of education in Ghana are affected. That is 46 of them are all on strike. That is the teachers in all of them. And the number of teacher trainees whom this strike is affecting is over 66,000 plus. The concern here is that there has been a budgetary allocation for the 2026 academic year, which is 1.26 billion Ghana cedis for colleges of education to use to run their business. Now, this is why they are on strike. They are asking government, or saying that government has not implemented binding arbitral awards by the National Labour Commission. Their book and research allowance remain unpaid.
We in semi course or channel so mamno so jemre or had a sense of body in the Numbi Adumania. You ever sign about